Well guys, we're out at the garden and the other day we tackled the Scotia tomatoes. Well, it was 2 weeks ago. We took all the vegetation off the Scotia tomatoes and it made such a huge difference. So now we're going to tackle my small patch of Roma tomatoes. I didn't plant as many this year and I'm kind of glad I didn't because they've gone out of control and I have no idea what's buried under all this greenery. Again, I would say the same thing. I probably should take off all the suckers, but I don't. And they usually end up producing fruit in the end, but I'll just turn you around here so you can have a look at what we're dealing with before I take my scissors and start cutting. So this is our Roma tomatoes. You can see some red peeking in there, buried amongst all this vegetation. Basically what we do, we've got them, both sides of this trellis are planted, or cattle panel, are planted with Romas. I think there's probably about 20 or close to on this little 8-foot section. We like to cram things in. That's just how we garden. Vegetation's off. A lot of them are still green. Definitely have to pick some here. Right there is a real good cluster. I'm not holding my breath on a lot of these green ones. I will probably cover them as the frost starts to come. But definitely have a little bit, as I'm uncovering them here, a little bit of blossom end rot. But all in all, I mean, even these green ones, they're gorgeous. So hopefully we don't get the frost too early. But this pocket right in here needs to be picked. So we finished harvesting our Roma tomatoes for today. Lots and lots of green ones still, and I've got a few little orange ones, but it's nice to have it opened up. Hopefully these will ripen before it gets too late. And now we can see our turnips and our daikon radishes. Better check with Chris on that one. But as you can see here, the turnips actually are, let me see if I can find them here, coming quite nicely. I don't like them to get too big because I want to use them for some pickled turnips. We're at the Scotia tomatoes in this September harvest. And yeah, I'm very curious to see what we get out of here. I'm going to only go for the ones that are really quite ripe because we're starting to see some splitting. So I can procrastinate no longer. I have to can some of these. And I'd be curious to actually weigh it at the end as to how much we get from these Scotia tomatoes.
Well, we could do
kind
that.
of track it because from 24 plants, it'd be really neat to keep track. I know we've eaten some and we've used some for sauces and things so far, but it'd be really neat to see what we actually harvest off this for canning. And you can kind of see the ones at the end where we've planted them later, so they're not ripening yet. But look at this, they're beautiful.
They're a good tomato variety.
I know, I've already done a video on them, but I can't say enough about my beautiful, look like you, okay, that one's not so beautiful, but these are getting older. Looks like you got them right out of the store.
Canadian Heritage Scotia tomatoes.
Yes. Let's get harvesting, Chris.
So as we kind of harvest through the rows of the Scotia tomatoes, I'm looking at our pink tongue eggplants. And a couple of them, this one, something's happened to it. I don't know, maybe it got a little colder than it liked the other night. So I'm probably going to rip those ones out, but leave the ones that are still looking good because they're still producing.
Yeah. Just open that. You can see, there's a nice, you can see the eggplant in there.
They're still producing pretty good.
Yeah.
So I may leave these nicer ones and just take out a couple of the, or I've taken one out, but.
Yeah, well, and down there they look really good. I don't know if there's anything on them, but look how tall.
More protected. Same with the ones in the raised bed; they seem to be better too. But
yeah.
Anyways, we'll see what we get off of those because there's still lots more. And this is the best eggplant year I've ever had, and we've ever had, because we've grown them before and got like nothing. And this year we have this variety's great.
Yes.
So. Looking over at the sweet Italian frying peppers, I mean, I've already taken 2 or 3 handfuls like this off, but considering they were planted late, I'm quite impressed, and there's still quite a few green ones in here, so if the weather holds, we should get quite a bit off of these guys, which is...
Let's see these green ones.
I kind of picked some, but...
well, here, look at this guy here. There's
some turning there, but they've really started to
and
go...
there.
Look at down here.
Too many.
Too many peppers. I gotta go dump them in the bucket and see what we end up with.
So harvest is coming along nice. We have our Scotia tomatoes. We've almost filled, I say those are like a 5-gallon bucket. I'm going to weigh it when I get in because I'm curious.
We'll go with that. Probably pretty close.
The Romas, but you know what? There's a lot on the vine yet, and there was less of them planted. Let's go take a squiz at Chris's pepper stash. Our potatoes over there in our buckets. We've slowly been harvesting as we want the dirt for gardens. It's one of the advantages to growing them in the buckets. We just dump them into the raised beds to put in good soil for next year. Those are our sweet potatoes with squash apparently. I'm very curious to do a video on harvesting those because I think they're going to be a lot of sweet potatoes in those buckets this year.
We got them in at a good time.
Yeah. And, well, our corn. The corn is a jungle. But look at what Chris is doing here. Oh my. So we have a whole bunch. So we have a whole bunch of eggplants. And look at these peppers. Chris is still going on the peppers. How many handfuls is that now? 4?
I don't know, or 5 maybe. I went down the backside too. I just keep finding red ones.
Oh my. My bunnies apparently recognize the fact that we are doing gardening and they think they need something, even though they have a carrot and apples and all sorts. Just going to take a quick peek here at these sugar beets. Hey, Chris? Well, I'm not going to dig it up, but I'm curious. Just give a... If we open this up, this is an experiment for us. I just want to know what the head on them feels like. Show if this one's good view. Does it feel like there's anything in there?
There is. I don't know if we got them planted early enough to really
do much. They look pretty piddly, don't they?
We'll see.
I'm very curious on this.
They grew well.
They
we
did.
Just need to get them in the ground earlier.
Well, and I've been picking greens off them for the bunnies. So they say you can do that. I ate one. It tasted awful. It tasted like a beet.
Because they usually have to cook it.
It tasted like a beet. Chris is just checking out the Doe Hill peppers.
More Doe Hill peppers.
Yes, these keep going. Look at the size of the plants this year. They did amazing.
They did.
And I need to harvest some dill. We're going to have dill popping up everywhere.
Well, it's not a bad problem to have.
There's so much dill seed falling.
There's worse plants to have than dill. For sure.
Christopher needs a nice little basket. If you have any suggestions for a gardening apron or basket, he needs one because we always get out here picking and then go, we don't have enough buckets. We don't have enough. Yeah. We seem to be growing a lot of stinging nettles. Look at that. There's more in there. I took a whole bunch out already today. So this garden here in front of Chris, we're getting all ready. We've got some cabbages ready to go in here. Or broccoli, we don't know. We already have broccoli in this one though, so probably do the cabbage. Not that it matters, aren't they the same family?
Yeah, pretty much the exact same.
Yeah, but
a growing standpoint.
We're still working on these Doe Hill peppers. There's still lots of green ones in there too.
Oh, there's a bunch in here that have been in here too long.
Uh-oh, are we falling behind?
Possibly.
Too slow on the harvest.
Oh,
this is what happens.
Too many other things going on at the moment.
Yeah, too many critters. So our noodle beans were very disappointing this year. Hopefully it was the weather, new ground. We did manage to get a bunch of seeds saved, so fingers crossed. Next year they'll be better. Last year they were up, all the way up and over the trellis. So our these are our eggplants that are in our raised bed, and we're finding that. Well, you tell them, Chris. We're finding
They haven't grown quite as well as the ones in the ground, so I think next year we'll use the tilled garden for the eggplants. Probably keep the Scotia tomatoes and the frying peppers in the ground. The Doe Hill peppers we'll probably keep in this raised bed assortment with some other stuff and kind of rotate things around a bit. But
Our little batch here of kale that we planted, what was that, last week?
yeah,
Doing
that's
really
going
well. Like
crazy.
it went absolutely crazy. We eat this, but mostly it's rabbit food, but we eat it too in stir fries and salads and stuff. This stuff, we're late enough now that we don't have the horrible caterpillars on it. Yay!
I think so.
So I will actually eat it now. Where before I was like, nah, I ain't eating a caterpillar. My basil's almost done, but I need some more. I got to make some more stuff for canning.
Sure we get some seeds out of this
Yeah.
bunch. And these
Wanted
guys are
seeds.
almost done. I was going to pick some of these to take in the house because there's
Got some ready there for seeds on Bama's beans.
more.
I did grab a couple yesterday or the day before.
This year all we're going to do is the seeds, and then next year hopefully we can plant a bigger.
Batch. Well, I've harvested quite a bit off them. I've been taking some of the ones that are nice fresh ones now, because we've got quite a few seeds for these guys.
Yeah.
But
Which is
again,
awesome.
this one, again, the beans this year, well, except for the cranberry ones, the beans this year did not.
I don't know, the Black Valentines look like they're doing
Well,
pretty
but
good.
they were, yeah.
They were late, but they're kind
Something.
of monstrous in there in the garden.
Yeah. It just seems to be real hit and miss, so we'll have to see how it goes.
Next year will be better.
Oh, I'm going to zoom in on your pot. It looks so pretty. Look at how pretty that looks.
So we'll dig up some of these turnips and radishes and see. So how many turnips do you want?
I would have thought at least 10 because I'm going to make pickled, what do you call those from the shawarma place? Oh, that's beautiful. And perfect size for my shawarma pickled.
At the top. And actually they don't have very much bug damage on them.
That was what we always found. If we let them get too big, the bug damage
Bugs
was
get
so
them.
horrible.
I'm going to take tops off.
This is the first time in a raid's bed though.
Yeah, they've done well.
So
We'll definitely plant some more
greens
of those.
greens go to the bunnies. Turnips go to us. Although they did eat the turnips in the winter, the big ones.
Yeah.
So-
Well, next year we can plant hopefully a much bigger patch of them.
Yeah.
And
Well, I want to plant some more maybe this fall. They might do something, they might not. Who knows? But they kind of got hidden up under all the Roma tomatoes and
I
forgotten
think
about.
that helped though with the shading them.
Yeah? Yeah, I guess so.
That one's got a little bit of bug damage, but not so much that we can't use it.
Yeah, well, I just cut those parts out. Our next tackle here is going to be our crooked neck squash. So I don't think there's much life going to be left in these guys. But that's all right. We've harvested lots. We've froze lots. We use this in like, it's kind of a roasted veggie ratatouille style medley with other stuff out of the garden that we then use for mixing into pasta sauces and things like that.
So we're back inside, and basically here is our harvest from this evening. So starting at the top in the blue bins is some of our Roma, don't know what kind of Roma, but our Roma tomatoes and the Scotia tomatoes, and then we've got these are the Scotias and those are the Romas, and that's onions, and then more yellow crooked neck squash, our purple top turnips, some cabbages, a whole bunch of our pink tongue eggplants, some more dough hill peppers, and then our sweet Italian frying peppers, which have done awesome.
One lone carrot.
One lone carrot that the kids actually picked and didn't bring in the house.
The apple, not supposed to be in there.
Now we have more apples elsewhere.
Lots of
But,
apples.
that's a whole nother harvest. And then these are some of the Hungarian wax peppers that we picked to do some pickled peppers with. So, anyways, not bad for another big harvest. Then on the Scotia tomatoes in particular, there's probably 3 times that
Still left.
many still out there that are almost ripe or still yet to ripen. So we will have lots more
a lot
of those.
of green ones.
Yeah, but there's still some time. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, on that note, we're going to make something to eat and figure out what to do with all this.